So as you know, we just finished our summer camp, Totus Tuus, and my favorite part of the Totus Tuus program is the Apologetics night that we have with our older kids. And so we had this panel of speakers. So obviously there were the 4 missionaries from the Archdiocese of Toronto, someone from staff, and then obviously myself. For most of the questions, to be honest, I was deferring to the group. And finally one question came from the floor, which was really interesting. So it was on the heart of this young woman who is amazing and has this really beautiful heart. And I'm not going to do justice to it. But basically what she said was this. Let's say you're trying your best, but you find yourself going to confession, and you're confessing the same thing over and over again. Does that mean that you're closer to God or the devil? Now, just the way that question's phrased, you could tell, okay, this is not an abstraction. This is very concrete and intensely personal. So I turned to the panel, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take this one. So I'm like, okay, here's the deal. There's different ways people approach the sacrament of confession. And so some people, when they go to confession, you get the sense that they're talking around the margins, talking about things which are on the periphery. You get the sense they're not really addressing core issues, particular ways the Lord is actually calling them to new freedom and new life. And that could be for a whole variety of reasons. And if that's the case, fine. On the other hand, there's other people where the vibe is like, I'm trying my best to go God's way, but it's hard. It's hard and it's painful to even look at those places in my heart where there's darkness, where there's need for conversion, where the Lord has called me to freedom. Never mind actually applying myself to fight the good fight. And sometimes I feel like I'm making progress, but sometimes not. Actually, a lot of times not. Sometimes I feel like I'm succeeding. Sometimes I feel like I'm failing and failing massively. And this is one of those days. So now I'm here, and I need God's forgiveness. I'm asking for His mercy, because I don't want to settle, and I want to be free, and I love Jesus Christ. People might not use those exact words, but that's the vibe that comes across. And if the question is, what do I think of these people? You bless me with your presence. And I'm inspired by your example. I can't tell you how oftentimes that happens, and I'm like, gosh, I gotta be more honest. I gotta try harder. And I have to be more generous with the Lord, like you. And it's my great privilege to be with people in that space, to absolve them from their sins, to relieve them of the burden, and to invite them and command them to go in the peace of Christ.